AITA for refusing to let my alcoholic mother move in with me, even though she's homeless now. I-29F bought a small house last year. It's nothing fancy, just 2 bedrooms, a tiny backyard, and creaky floors. But it's quiet, it's safe, and it's mine. After years of instability, years of surviving, I finally feel like I can breathe. Like I have a home that isn't laced with tension and fear. And now, I feel like it's all at risk. My mom, 52F, is an alcoholic. She's been drinking heavily since before I can even remember. Growing up, I wasn't a daughter. I was her emotional punching bag, her part-time therapist, her maid, and sometimes her target. I have memories no kid should have. I remember being 9 or 10 and dragging her limp body off the kitchen floor after she passed out, convinced she was dead. I remember shaking her and crying and calling her name over and over until she groaned and told me to shut up. I remember heating up frozen dinners for myself while she screamed in the other room about how I ruined her life. She never remembered the things she said, or maybe she did and didn't care. Either way, the apologies never came. What I got instead were tantrums, manipulation, and silence, until she needed something again. When CPS showed up once after my 5th grade teacher called them, my mom cleaned up just long enough to fake being a functional parent. They closed the case. She celebrated by getting blackout drunk and locking me in my room for embarrassing her. After that, I stopped trying to ask for help. I just counted down the days until I could leave. And I did. On my 18th birthday, I packed a bag and walked out. I spent the next several years rebuilding from scratch. Therapy, jobs, sleeping on friends' couches, working 2 shifts just to afford rent and food. It wasn't easy, but I finally found stability. A life free of screaming, broken glass, and walking on eggshells. My mom and I didn't talk for a long time. Honestly, I think she liked it that way. She didn't have to be accountable. A few years ago, she reached out, said she missed me, wanted to reconnect. I kept my walls up. She hadn't changed. The slurring was still there. The vague stories, the guilt trips. I told myself I'd keep it surface level. I could handle a few check-ins as long as I kept my distance. But last week, she called me crying, said she'd been evicted and had nowhere to go. She begged me to let her stay with me just for a little while. I asked her what happened. She gave me a messy, half-true version of events that made no sense, then tried to steer the conversation back to me saving her. I could already hear it in her voice. She was drunk again. The same patterns, the same excuses, just with higher stakes. I told her I was sorry, but I couldn't let her stay with me. I told her it wasn't safe for me. That's when she lost it. She called me a cold-hearted bitch. Said after everything she's done for me, this is how I repay her. That I'm heartless for letting my own mother sleep in her car. That I owe her. That I'm just as cruel as she always thought I was. Then came the relatives. People who haven't reached out to me in years, suddenly sliding into my DMs with guilt and shame. She's your mother. She has nowhere to go. How could you be so selfish? Not one of them has offered to take her in. They just want me, the daughter who left, the one who lived through it, to step back into that fire. And the thing is, I do feel guilty. I don't want her to suffer. I don't want her to be cold or hungry or alone. I know addiction is a disease, and I wouldn't wish what she's going through on anyone. But I also know what letting her in would mean. It wouldn't be just for a little while. It would be me losing the peace I've fought tooth and nail to build. It would be the return of sleepless nights, emotional whiplash, fear, manipulation. And I don't think I can survive that again. Not now that I know what peace feels like. So I said no. And I keep saying no. And I'm being painted as the villain because of it.